John is an experienced remote pilot who is doing some photographic survey work for an agricultural company. He has just finished up at a site to the north of the country. It's late afternoon and he can see that the weather is deteriorating and would prefer to do the last field survey the next day. He phones his operations room to reschedule the last survey, only to find out that there is a risk that they will lose the contract if they don't finish on time. John realizes that the time is running out fast, so he rushes to put all the equipment in the car and heads off to the next site. On the way, he gets stuck in a traffic jam. There's been an accident. John quickly checks Google Traffic and finds a different route. He is now very late, but at least he's out of the traffic jam. In the meanwhile, the emergency services at the accident have called for a helicopter to transport one of the passengers who has been seriously injured in the car crash. John arrives at his site. The storm approaches. He had intended to position himself on the other side of the field so that he had a better view of the surrounding area, but that's close to the accident, and anyway, he figures that it'll be okay if he starts the work from here. He'll just need to keep a good lookout and work quickly. As he's setting up his drone, a woman who has been out for a walk comes over to chat. While they are chatting, she notices the helicopter heading towards the accident site. John has his back to the helicopter and doesn't notice. In any event, he's too busy setting up and chatting, and as a result, he doesn't do a thorough survey of the area he's going to fly in. The helicopter lands at the accident site. The walker has been thinking about getting a drone, and so she is happy to have the chance to chat with John. John has a lot of experience and is always happy to share. And, let's be honest, he also quite likes it when people admire his flying skills. The helicopter's loaded its passenger and is getting ready to lift off. John looks at the storm approaching and figures he can still do the survey if he works quickly. Since he didn't disassemble the drone from the previous survey, he decides that another pre-flight inspection isn't necessary. Nothing would have changed, right? But does he remember that on his last flight, he was operating in ATI mode? The helicopter lifts off. Seeing that the walker is clearly interested in buying a drone, John offers her the opportunity to get the drone airborne and to get a feel for flying it. Yes, he is worried about the time, and the wind is now starting to pick up. John is confident that he can manage any situation and that there can be no harm in doing this, and it won't slow the operation down, that much anyway. The walker gets the drone airborne, and very quickly it becomes obvious to John that she does not know how to fly. Or is something else going wrong? John takes over the remote controller. The helicopter is now flying towards John's area of operation. It's keeping low to stay clear of the weather. The wind is strong and John does not hear the helicopter approaching from the side. He's too busy trying to figure out what is wrong with the drone. It's so unstable, and he's worried that by keeping it low it might accidentally crash into the ground. He climbs the drone without realizing that it's now up to 100 meters above the ground. He is so busy trying to control the drone that he forgets that it could still be in ATI mode, which is making it even more difficult to fly the drone. And he doesn't want to look unprofessional with the walker looking on. The storm is now close, the wind picks up more, and the drone drifts further away from John. The helicopter flies by, right next to John. He is shocked when he sees it, but tries to get the drone down quickly. His reactions aren't fast enough, and anyway, the wind is making the drone all but uncontrollable now. The helicopter pilot spots something moving outside and turns to avoid it, but it is not enough. The drone strikes the side of the helicopter. The helicopter pilot is unsure what has happened and does an emergency landing in the field. A completely shocked John cannot figure out how this happened.